Guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to review Rector Drath, one of the new epic champions in the game. And full disclosure, full disclaimer, to start out today's video, originally I was going to make a guide on Rector Drath saying, kind of don't believe the hype, right? Because I was going to say my opinion before I actually tried this champion out and compared this champion to Doompriest and Still the Drakes, which I'll get to in a minute, was great champion. Love this champion, Rector Drath, that is. However, very redundant to other, champions, specifically one that everybody gets for free, Still the Drakes. Both of them have the revival, both of them have a passive heal, and Still the Drakes has an AoE stun, which could be more beneficial in terms of crowd control compared to Rector Drath. However, after actually building out Rector Drath and using Rector Drath and being able to compare that champion to those other champions, which I'm going to show you in today's video, I have changed my mind. I've changed my tune. I think this champion's really a special support champion, and you guys hopefully are going to see why in today's video. So Rector Drath, first of all, dude, I thought this guy was a guy. I thought this chick was a dude, right? First of all, let's take a look at the face here. I guess the question comes down, everybody's saying it's, or not everybody, but a lot of people are saying it's a female, right? I guess because of the hover mechanic. To me, the face looks kind of like a guy, an old, dead dude. However, does have kind of a dress thing going on over here, huh? Like, in terms of aesthetically, I love the look of this champion. Has a mace, or a scepter. Has a glove on, and, you know, I don't know, we're gonna do a little bust. A little bust. It has some nice definition in that muscle, especially for being dead. And then it doesn't, I mean, Plarium, usually when they make boobs, they make boobs. Let's be real, right? And I don't know. I'm seeing a little something there, maybe. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a female with a crown on the head. I don't know, is that hair on the top of the head too? Is the hair up? A muscular undead female hovering in a dress, I guess? Who knows? I don't know why. I guess the face, I originally thought it was a guy, but we will call her a female. I saw her in her Twitter bio. She says she or her. So we'll go with that. Anyway, let's take a look at the base stats. Oh, let's look at the kit real quick, right? So decreased attack at a 50% chance on the A1. That's really solid. Good for clan boss as a decreased attack champion if you don't have a better option already on your team. On the A2, Necro Mutation. Heals all out. This is on a 4-turn cooldown. Heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. Really good, based on her max HP. After healing, plays a perfect veil buff for 2 turns on allies with full HP. Plays a continuous heal buff for 1 turn instead on allies with less than 100% HP. This is going to be really, really cool, especially when you see the synergy between the perfect veil and her passive. Spirit Form. Revives a single ally, 60% HP, and fills a turn meter by 60%. Plays a perfect veil buff on them for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Really, really, really good revival, for an epic champion. I want to say it's one of my favorite revivals for an epic champion in the game. Kaden has a really nice revival as well, but this is right up there on a 4-turn cooldown with the perfect veil for 3 turns and 60% HP and 60% turn meter. Really, really good reviver. Master of Ghosts. Whenever an ally under veil or perfect veil buff gets a turn, heals them by 10% of their max HP, also increases the resistance of allies under veil and perfect veil buffs by 50. Really solid, right? This passive is insane because you're gonna see we have a lot of veils. Most of the time it feels like with this champion, everybody's veiled up, or at least a few champions are veiled up, so ton of heals. And that's the first thing I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys right out the gate here. Way more healing potential, especially with the AoE heal, right? Less CC potential compared to Still the Drakes, but way more healing. Does a better job at keeping your team alive, even taking into consideration the stuns of Still the Drakes. I'm not saying he or she, is a better champion. I'm just saying that they have a very unique skill set where you're gonna use a champion like Still, again, magic and force affinity, put that aside for a second, let's pretend they're both, neutral affinity that you're facing. I definitely think that Rector Drath is a better overall support, a little bit of superior to Spirit Form on the Revival, but missing the CC. So it's a give and a take, certainly. I still prefer in a vacuum Still the Drakes, but you can use them even alongside each other. Nothing stopping you from using both champions in some dungeons, right? Or in Doom Tower. Speaking of Doom Tower, the aura resists in Doom Tower battles by 55. The synergy between the passive with the resist and the aura with the resist, really, really good on Rector Drath, especially as we need that high resistance if we want to have a chance at preventing or blocking some of those debuffs in Doom Tower where everything scales incredibly high. I went with the offense tree and the support tree on this champion, guys. Kind of obvious. I went with the HP instead of the accuracy. The only reason you need accuracy on this champion is to land the decreased attack. So me personally, I just wanted to stack a little bit more HP because remember, all those AoE heals on the A2 and the 4-turn cooldown are predicated on this champion's max HP. You're going to see that even though the AoE heal is on a 4-turn cooldown, the passive really carries a lot of weight helping those heals sustain throughout the entire duration of the battle. At first, I kind of scoffed at the 4-turn cooldown, but now after playing around for a few hours with the Rector, very impressed. I went with Lasting Gifts. We have the continuous heal, keep in mind, on this champion. Also the Veils, all those Veils, right? Perk Veils, Lasting Gifts will have a chance to extend those buffs, and we have Spirit Haste. We also went with Lore of Steel. I'm going to tell you why in a second. And our tier 6 Mastery is War Master, hoping to get a little bit of damage out of this champion. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at, you know, a couple 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 damage. If we have War Master, that can really bump that up quite significantly, over 1 million in these battles. So we're definitely going to want that War Master. At least I prefer War Master on this champion. Now, if you don't care about the decreased attack, you already have another decreased attack champion, don't worry about accuracy at all in this champion, right? If you don't care about it. I decided to build her as if I did care for you guys. So that's how we built her in today's video. If we look at the total stats, really, really, really respectable base stats. Check it out. 17k HP, 1000 attack. The damage on the A1 is based on attack. Defense 1100, speed 109. And I took one look at this these base stats, and I thought to myself, dude, I'm going to take advantage of that speed, and I'm going to go all out speed. I think that sometimes people make the mistake on support champions by just building them too tanky. I mean, think about it this way, right? Your support champion with high defense and tons of HP, as is the case here, is usually not going to be the first to die, usually not going to be the second to die, usually not going to be the third to die. So you get diminishing returns if I'm building her to be an absolute, you know, tank of a warhorse, right? Because at the end of the day, sure, you don't want her dying. You need her alive to revive everybody else, but you don't have to stack endless defense and endless HP on this champion. She's not going to die. You know, if she dies, you got problems. Your whole team's probably dead, right? So for that reason, I'm prioritizing speed, of course HP, and then speed on this champion, right? Already a very strong high base speed at 109. I'm gonna take advantage of that. So I put 3 speed sets on this champion. Of course, you can throw in an accuracy set if you do care about that accuracy. I would strongly advise you guys, try to go with HP on the banner, try to get some speed as a substat as well. Try to get HP on the banner and try to get your accuracy elsewhere on this champion if you can. A great source of accuracy is the amulet. I went HP, HP, HP on all accessories. If you want to go defense, that's totally cool too. You can get by with going defense. I went HP on the gauntlets. I went HP on the chest. I went speed on the boots. And then I just looked for accuracy and speed on all of the other gear. You guys can see a double accuracy roll, some speed. I got a little bit of speed here on the shield and again, accuracy. So that's kind of all I looked for, guys. Speed and accuracy and HP. And the total HP here is 666. Isn't that apropos for this champion? Definitely looks like she has some sort of tie to the devil, even though they're a rector, which is a religious position. Anyway, so that's the kit, guys. I'm a big fan of this champion. Hopefully it makes sense how I built her out to you guys. Just fast, so we're getting more heals, especially champions like Doompriest, like Rector Drath, like Silver Drakes, like Bergoth the Malformed, champions who have really solid passives, or Vrask, a champion who heals on every attack. We want them going as much as possible, right? So let's go ahead, go to the dungeons. Let's jump into Dragon's Lair. And I'm going to show you this champion, man. So this is the team that we're going to be running. Really decently free-to-play friendly team. We have 2 starting champions, and then we have Dagger, granted Void, and we have Cruzard, Deepheart, kind of as our damage dealer on this team as well. And I'm going to start out with Rector, but then I'm going to run. I'm not going to show you guys the entire run, but after that, I'm going to show you Silver Drakes and Doompriest in the same position, so you guys can compare and contrast the overall time and the numbers. You can see already everybody's veiled here. And check this out. Look at how much healing is going on. Heal, boom, heal, boom. She heals before every champion's turn, you know, because it's before their turn. If they're under heal, they get a buff. If they're under veil, they get the heal. So it's different than, say, Doompriest, where it's every time she has a turn. This time it's every time anybody has a turn here. And you guys can see, I'm going to take you to the dragon. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're on to the dragon there. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have cut that out, but my car's in the shop and they called me, so I figured natural time for a little pause here in the video. So again, you guys see that I kind of misspoke earlier now that I'm seeing the heal every single time somebody else takes a turn. I misspoke about the speed directly affecting the passive because it's whenever other champions, allies, take a turn, you're seeing those heals, so it's really predicated on their speed, not so much our speed. But still, we want to go often, we want to take advantage of that base speed. Everything else I said makes sense, and we want to get those cooldowns down faster so we can get more heals and more veils on the team and more continuous heals. So you can see that on this team, all we have for heals is whatever we can put out with her. So far, so good, keeping everybody nice and healthy with those continuous heals helping out too. When you're going to see when the HP gets a little bit low, that's where she's really going to go ahead and step in there with the continuous heals plus the 20% heal, which is big. You know, that 20% of her HP is really equal to around 50% of these other champions' HP because we have her built with so much. So you can see that we have no problems whatsoever staying alive in this attack. Granted, it's not the fastest run, but we have a pretty, you know, accessible team around her. And again, everybody's back and veiled up, so they're going to get heals before every single time they go again, which is going to be nice to kind of top them off, especially with all these debuffs the dragon is throwing at us. So it's going to be about a 4-minute run or so. All the poisons from Kale definitely helping. So what makes sense to have around her? I mean, the cool thing is you only need her. Even if somebody dies, it's cool. We pick him right back up. She has that really nice 4-turn cooldown revival as well, right? With the perfect veil. So what type of team do you build around her? I mean, you can really get by with her being the only healer on your team, which is pretty crazy. You can see that she did it there with 819,000 total healage. Man, pretty solid, right? And you can see that Kale and Kurzard D-part kind of going toe-to-toe with who can put out the most damage. We have Dagger as our debuffer and Galek as kind of our, I don't know, second, third, whatever, fourth damage dealer on the team. 208,000 damage. Like I said, that would be probably 20,000 damage if we didn't. Did I say 1 million of War Master? Maybe against Clan Boss. But 208,000 damage is going to be nice as opposed to, you know, 10% of that if we didn't have War Master Mastery on her. So now let's go ahead and compare and contrast. So kind of remember these numbers, especially the overall healing and the overall time, 339. Let's see if we can do better with the Seal of the Drakes with this team. So I'm going to go ahead and slot in Sil here and start this one off, and I'll come back to you guys at the end screen just so you guys can kind of compare the numbers, and we'll try again with Doompriest and see how that goes. All right, guys, so you can see that this one is going to be a little bit faster, but you can see from the HP of my team, less healage, and we did have to revive a few times on Seal of the Drake, so a little bit less consistent maybe. Overall, certainly less heals, and you can see that in the numbers, 286, about the same amount of damage, and again, a little bit faster on the run. So already you're seeing, I mean, basically the same damage from everybody else for the most part, give or take. So already you're seeing that she can be a viable alternative to Seal of the Drakes. Maybe you guys haven't been playing, you know, that long, and you want to go ahead and use her because you haven't gotten your daily login reward of Seal of the Drakes yet, or maybe you just want to run her in Fire Knight where it's just really anti-affinity to help you out on Fire Knight 20 if you have not cleared it yet, or of course, the place that we haven't mentioned yet, which is Doom Tower, which we have the resist on the aura, and in Doom Tower, we're going to need those extra heals and the perfect veils to keep us alive a little bit longer. Now, I'm going to show you Fire Knight 20 with, again, a fairly accessible team, a little bit less because we do have Allure in here for turn meter control on the Fire Knight, and then we have Dagger for our debuffer again, and we have Apothecary in the lead with his aura, and we have Coulter again for, well, everything, for the 4-hit runner A1 and for the Heartseeker ability. So let's go ahead and go in here. This one's going to be a longer run, probably around 4 minutes or so. So I'm not going to show you the entire run because I do want to show you a kind of a high floor of hard Doom Tower. I'm going to put her with a, you know, really good team around her, legendary champions, and see what she can do in terms of supporting and maybe even resisting some debuffs on the enemy team. So let's go ahead and see somebody die here. You're going to see how nice this revival is going to be here, especially on Fire Knight 20, where things get really more difficult comparatively to Dragon 20 when we talk about the caliber of these two waves, right? They're very, very difficult here in Fire Knight, and we immediately kind of lose Allure, but that's cool. We don't have to worry about Errol, you know, he's dead now, but we don't have to worry about Errol single target killing her right back to back again. She's going to be alive, and we have, again, the veils on the other champions as well. Everybody's veiled up, which means they're going to get healed before their turns, which means we're going to be able to keep the entire team alive throughout the duration of this match, even though, as you guys can see, it's taken us a minute to get by this first wave. It's going to take us a while. This is not the strongest nukage on this team for the waves here. It's not like we're running Mausoleum Mage and Seer on this team. However, maybe we'll run those two on the Doom Tower in just a second. So I'm going to come back at you guys when we're close to killing the Fire Knight with this team. Be right back. Alright guys, so I said it was going to be a long run. It is, but we're looking pretty healthy throughout the entire duration. We did lose Allure again in the second wave, but again, no big deal. We picked her up, put the perfect veil on her, and we're good to go. And you know what I think makes these fights a little bit longer is the fact that she is doing this passive every single time anybody gets a turn. It really ends up making these runs a bit faster, so suffice it to say, Rector Drath, not a speed farmer at all in any of these dungeons. It's not the end of the world. It's, you know, if you need the support, you need the support. But just kind of throw that out there. Insane healage, 1.2 million nearly total heals. So it really does add up, especially with all those veils and all those passives. I lied to you guys. I didn't show you Doompriest. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the end screen of Doompriest, and we'll jump into hard Doom Tower. All right, guys. Well, there it goes. You can see the team actually wiped with the Doompriest. Nothing against Doompriest at all here. She is also in a shield set, but she just doesn't have the revival, which really hurts her, obviously, especially on a fragile team like this. So there's Doompriest, didn't get the job done, but again, a very, you know, weak team around her here for Dragon 20. So, you know, I would say if you want speed, sell the Drakes for Dragon, depending on the team around her, of course. But if you just want those heals, or if you don't have, you know, the best gear or whatever, I think that, you know, Rector Drath is probably going to provide you the best overall support for your team. But again, it's very tough to compare, and I know it's not really fair to even compare all these champions, but, you know, they all kind of have that same kind of passive healing that they kind of bring to the table. All right, guys, so we're here at Doom Tower hard. Let's go ahead and try to get a non-legendary, all-legendary team. So let's kind of focus on a floor that somebody's struggling in. Let's see. Okay, it looks like we got RW struggling here at floor 36. Let's see if we can tackle floor 36, and we can kind of choose depending on who we're facing here. All right, so we need a kind of an anti-freeze team. So that's cool because we have the resist. So let's put her in the lead, and then let's build kind of a team around her. So for a D, let's put Madame Ceres in there and Stag Knight, which seems a little ridiculous, but I want to have kind of a CC option too. So let's put in, okay, we don't need Madame Ceres and Stag Knight. That is ridiculous. We will use Seal the Drake, so we have some stun. And then last but not least, let's use my girl. You already know who it is. It's anybody? Dark Elhain. Dark Elhain against Freeze. That's a perfect option for us. So let's see how a team like this can work. I'm just going to take it off of auto just to kind of see what we have here, right? So don't have to worry about anybody removing these debuffs, so we can start out there, and then let's get right into CC action with the stuns. And again, try to get to the difficult portions of this. I think wave 2 is where it gets really challenging. We'll go with the A2. I don't mind. I'm trying to save the A3 of Umbral Enchantress for the second wave. That way we can avoid some of those freezes. Even if we do get those freezes, not the end of the world though, right? So I should probably be taking down Man-Eater first. Don't want to deal with that. We'll definitely elongate the duration of this battle. I think I can just A1 cycle here, honestly. Not really scared of anything that these guys and gals can do to me here. So just so, you know, Frozen Banshee, I don't think she's that great outside of Clan Boss, so, and maybe Dragon. So I'm not like overly concerned with keeping those to kind of last. Let's deal with Bellower, and let's get to the second wave and see how, you know, and you can see that the health of this team, especially with 2 passive healers, really solid, right? Nothing to really worry about here. Might as well just A1 cycle, why not? We could have probably just full autoed this, but with Umbral Enchantress, you always want to save that A3 because you're putting her skills on cooldown for 5 turns. So you just want to save it until you really need it. So we'll waste it here on the second wave. And yeah, 2 Man-Eaters and 2 Rotoses. Let's go ahead and get the Veils up. And land the... I should have saved Midnight Ritual. Hopefully I can stun it. The Man-Eaters. 1 and... Ooh. Ah, that sucks. So they're going to get that up. I hope I can steal a lot of these debuffs with Madame Ceres, but the whole reason we put Madame Ceres on this team was to stop the Ancient Bloods, so that was a shame that we kind of let that happen there. Let's see if we can steal some of these debuffs. We might lose Silver Drakes, but even if we do, it's okay. We can pick them right back up. And I should have probably used the... oh, we didn't have the block buffs up in time. Let's go with a... I guess I just have to kind of chip away here. Pointless to use the A3 when they have block debuffs up. We did steal a couple of the unkillables at least, right? So let's go after this Rotos. And this Man-Eater still has him up. Let's go after him. But you can see that, you know, the good news is we're not going to die, you know? Even if somebody does die on our team, we'll be able to pick them right back up. And this is a pretty good strategy to do, right? Have 2 champions who have some crowd control. I'm curious to see what this third wave is. Well, we already saw what the third wave is going to look like here. So unkillable, unkillable. Not on that Rotos. Reflect is not that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and try to take him out before... Okay, good. And go there. And nothing we can do here. Okay, go there. And Sill's almost dead. I might as well just use the heal next time Proctor gets a turn. Get her nice and healed up. Actually, we won't get a turn, will we? Yes, we will. Sweet. It's okay that I kind of waste that ability right there. I'd rather have everybody go in healthy on this third wave, because this is when we're really going to go ahead and shine with our Umbral. So we get a couple stuns there. That's good. Even if somebody is frozen, Dark Elhain is going to go ahead and, see, just keep Death Majesty over and over again until we win. So guys, let's see how much healage total. We didn't need a ton of it there, but still, you know, 385,000 total heal. Not bad at all, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this guide of Rector Drath. Let me know if you think it's a boy or a girl or a man or a woman. Boy or a girl, dude. A man or a woman in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.